Due to a decline in foreign investment, and a lack of money to pay for imports, Sri Lanka is currently experiencing a shortage of almost all essentials. With sovereign defaults looming, the country is in desperate need of capital. And its benefactors, China, have made sympathetic gestures, but have been reluctant to commit large sums of money, certainly not enough to solve Sri Lanka's growing financial woes. With China missing, and West falls short to provide assistance to the crisis-hit island nation, Sri Lanka is receiving concrete financial assistance from no one but India. As foreign investment dried up, India emerged as the top lender to Sri Lanka. India has provided $3.8 billion in assistance to Sri Lanka, and plans to provide additional financial assistance. Assistance from China, whose investments in Sri Lanka account for a large portion of the country's external debt burden today, pales, in comparison to the timely credit extended by India to Sri Lanka, to help it recover from the crippling balance of payments crisis that has thrown the entire country into financial and political chaos. Chinese predatory lending has been widely discussed in the context of Sri Lanka's current problems, but it is only one portion. While unfavorable Chinese loans, which account for 10% of Sri Lanka's external debt, have contributed to white elephants and strategic compromises, such as the Hambantota port, and Colombo's experience with Western lenders has not been pleasant either. Reckless market borrowing, and nearly 16 conditional bailouts from the International Monetary Fund, during previous balance of payment crises, have also contributed to the long-term incapacitation of the Sri Lankan economy. All of this would not have been possible without the once mighty Rajapaksas, who sunk their teeth into international sovereign bonds. ISBs, which are instruments of capital market borrowing, with unfavorable interest rates above 6%, drained Sri Lanka's reserves. Colombo also agreed to pay him off over a 5 to 10 year period. In the 15 years since Mahinda Rajapaksa became Prime Minister, and was on his way to becoming President, for a decade, Sri Lanka's market borrowings increased from 2.5% in 2005 to 56% of total external debt in 2019. Despite the Forex crisis, the Sri Lankan government paid off a $500 million sovereign bond this year to the Western institutions, because of its careless market borrowing from Western institutions, which are now in a position to sue Colombo for default. Because no grace period granted to Sri Lanka by these Western institutions, even when the island nation's economy was on the verge of collapse. India, as Sri Lanka's primary source of foreign assistance in this outstanding debt in 2022, assisted in bond repayments, totaling $500 million. In January, India grants financial assistance of over $900 million to Sri Lanka to build up its depleted foreign reserves, and for food imports. And also sent shipments of fuel, food, and fertilizer, preventing its supplies from completely drying up. India remained in Sri Lanka during its darkest hour, while others fled. This might improve Sri Lankan people's perception of India, which are frequently fueled by history and politicians with competing interests.